Last night, Trump's military purges began at the Department of Defense with the firing of the Joint Chiefs Chairman, General Charles Brown Jr., and also firing Admiral Lisa Franchetti, the Chief of the Navy. The reasoning Trump gave was to root out diversity initiatives. And yes, it should be quite obvious to you, the person he fired was a black man and a woman. And this continues on Trump's approach to resegregate the federal government and America as this continues the mass firing taking place across the whole federal government, with hundreds of thousands of employees being fired at a rate never seen before. To express how ridiculous this is, you have to understand Elon Musk directed his aides at the Department of Government Efficiency to send an email out to all federal employees to explain what they did last week in an email. And he said on Twitter, failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. And how is the media reporting this in the United States? Well, they're literally just going along with Trump's narrative that his generals were too woke, or the Times saying they're too mired in diversity issues. I'm sorry, you seem to have all forgotten that the reason he is angry at these particular military leaders is because they did not go along with his attempt to have a coup against the Republic in 2021 on a day called January 6th. Most people seem to have forgotten that his hooligans at the Capitol was not the only thing happening that day, and Trump still holds a grudge against everyone who did not go along with his plan that day. Meanwhile, on Twitter, Senator Mike Lee and Elon Musk are talking about how Elon Musk needs an enforcement arm for his Department of Government Efficiency. And if you're wondering where that logo came from, yeah, that's a Proud Boys thing. And it was also announced last night by NASA's administrators that Doge has taken control of NASA. And Homeland Security Secretary and President of Argentina, Javier Milei, are joking about using flamethrowers to cut government inefficiency. Oh yeah, and the Conservative Political Action Conference is happening, and we got 2 more salutes. And if you don't know what CPAC is, it is a conservative conference, one of the biggest in the world, that is held internationally as well, that brings together the who's who of the right and far right from around the world. And they've been running for over 50 years now. And none of this is secret. They literally live stream CPAC. I can't express strongly enough how dangerous it is to have MAGA loyalists potentially be installed into the highest level of the US military. As we've seen in the last 2 weeks, Trump has no dedication to how the old world functioned, and we have seen equivocally the US move in a pro-Russian Federation direction. The United States is creating a situation where it is a rogue and unstable regime, one that is very powerful with a lot of nuclear weapons and a lot of heft to throw around. The rest of the world is learning very quick, if American detachment isn't taken seriously and quickly, then they will be in for a world of hurt. We also have to understand that this shouldn't just be seen as states going against states. This should be understood as one particular political ideology that is international, seizing power in different places. And once they take control of states, they're able to use that state power to do really dramatic things on the world stage. The US falling to the far right is something that was warned against for years, including by myself. And we are now seeing their well-laid plans of decades being implemented. And they seem wild and insane to us, but they have been laid out there clearly, repeatedly, in public conferences by leaders for the last decades. It is a lack of people looking and listening and believing what they say, even if it sounds crazy, that they really want to do it. And one thing I really need to stress is that I've seen a lot of European news channels still bringing on MAGA people who support Donald Trump, to spread misinformation and lies. They do not understand that they are just going to continue to invite in people that are spreading a false and disinformation cycle that gives you a complete illusion about what's really happening. And this has a danger of lulling Europeans and others into a false sense of security about where the US is at, because the US is falling quickly and fast. And of course, Republicans are going to try and convince all of their allies, especially business partners, that this isn't actually happening, so people don't get freaked out and pull all of their money out of the US. Because things are not normal. Things are like this. People actively talking about Trump running for another term. And yes, that is him literally done up like Caesar. And we already know where he's looking next, Mr. Elon Musk. He is looking at Spain and helping to support Vox. We need to take this seriously, and this threat is not going away. It'll only continue the longer Donald Trump is president. Now, please do some engagement so more people see, or else I won't get paid either. Thank you.